Good morning. Day 3 of my walk. I'm waiting for the bus, but the bus is not coming. I looked up the time last night and it's supposed to leave at 5:25. It's been 15 minutes now. Nothing's coming. The stupid thing here in Montreal is that there's no like time schedule when the bus is coming, arriving, leaving, nothing. So nowadays you just have like horaires, that means the schedule, on STM info. So if you don't have internet and if you don't have like an interactive map like on Google Maps or using their map online, you don't even know where you're going, where the bus is going, the stations, like nothing. There's not even like maps on the buses, like nothing to show you where you are, which sucks. In the subway it's good, but here it sucks. Like there's nothing. It's just like a small bus station. There's not even here a map of the bus system in Montreal or something, so you know which buses you could use, like how, whatever, when you going somewhere else, like which stations you could like like interchange and like switch buses, like nothing. If you don't have internet, taking buses in Montreal sucks. I know how to get around, but if you really are a foreigner and you're waiting here, like it can be really frustrating because you don't know what's going on, you don't even know where you're going. So taking the subway is much easier, but obviously the subway doesn't cover the whole city. I'm back where I stopped last night, had my shitty dinner here, and it's 8 o'clock. You know, I get up at 4:30 to catch the bus, which didn't come on time, and then it screwed up all my schedule, and the bus, whatever, changing the buses didn't work out anymore because I don't have any internet. So I just rely on what I have on my phone. I just make screenshots and then which bus to take, and then it just kind of didn't work out. So yeah, 2.5 hours later, finally here, and now we're gonna go continue the walk through Montreal. So first stop after I arrived here, just a couple meters further from Wendy's, is Tim Hortons. Again, no coffee at home, so I have to wait like 3.5 hours to have my first coffee. And here I found even a bagel with egg and bacon. It's not the bagel from Saint-Viateur with the salmon, kind of like real fancy, but well, at least I'm eating bagel in Montreal. So gonna eat my bagel and go explore the northern part of Montreal. I want to show you the prices at the gas station here. It's $1.66 for gasoline and $1.72 for diesel. And these prices here were 10 years ago without the one in the front. So all in 10 years it's like $1 more expensive. That's kind of crazy. I remember I moved to Canada in 2014, lived here for 4 years, and I used to get gas for like 69 cents. And now it's so expensive. That's so crazy. It's all because I think COVID, the war in Ukraine, and everything, life got so much more expensive in the last 10 years, like so much more expensive. How about your country? Is everything that much more expensive like here, or not as much, or not at all? I have the feeling like everywhere in Germany, everywhere I go to, it is more expensive. But I don't know, maybe there is a country out there which kind of kept the prices almost like, not completely, but almost at the same level. Traffic lights really suck here in Canada for pedestrians. Like you can cross here, there is one there too, but here there is a crossing, but there is no traffic light for pedestrians. So you kind of gotta watch out and time your crossing when these guys are moving through the intersection this way. The only problem is that they could have green to turn to the right too, so you just gotta be very careful. I don't know why it's so difficult here, but anyways, let's go. And like I say, it's just because you have red light here, but sometimes if you're waiting, you miss the whole cycle of the traffic light. So like I said, they can turn right too, but you're not supposed to cross, and there is no light here. But there is a crossing for pedestrians. So not that well thought out here in Canada. If somebody is watching from the city of Montreal, you could do a better job for pedestrians crossing the busy streets. On small streets it doesn't matter because you can cross easy, but here it's kind of dangerous. That's a cool house. Look how neat everything in here is, all the decoration. No lawn, you don't have to mow your lawn. It stays like this all year round. Pretty cool. Because most people have always a lot of grass to cut, and then it's yeah, you have to do it many times in the year. So compared to this house, this one is kind of much cooler. Because many people, they don't get to like doing it properly, and then it just kind of like the grass is too tall, you have like just kind of shrubs, bushes, nothing really that amazing looking, unless you're on point and do it like all the time. And some people are crazy about their lawn, but this place, I'm not a big fan of like too many rocks, and like it's kind of a little bit too much, but actually for some reason I like it. We're almost at the waterfront, at the northern shore of Montreal Island, and along the waterfront here there's like some real mansions, all like kind of covered, hidden behind these trees, and really huge houses, really nice neighborhood. So in Canada, if you have money, you live somewhere at the waterfront, like right on the lake, right on the river, whatever it is. Depends where it is. If it's like a little bit further outside the city, and if it's on a lake, you could have like a whole acre, 2 acres of property with your driveway going through a forest and complete privacy. Like here, people still can see your house from the road, but like I said, if you have a lot of money, you buy yourself something where your whole property is hidden completely and no one can see your house, and you have a sign that says private property, and other than the whatever, somebody coming to fix something at your house or the post guy, nobody is coming ever to your house. Here we are at the northern shore of the island of Montreal. For the first time I can see the water here in the northern part. I try to get down and hope there are no water snakes, because often there are some. So this here is the river des Prairies. It's kind of out there is the westernmost end of the island of Montreal. This is where the Ottawa River kind of joins with the St. Lawrence River, and this goes around Montreal Island, the river des Prairies. And then up there is Laval Island, and this is Ile Bizarre, I think. And as you can see here, there's some really, I don't know how much you can see, but there's like some really beautiful big houses with some nice trees and water property. This is where you live if you have money. Okay, let's try to touch the water, see how. It's warm. It's warm. could go for a swim if it was not only 15 degrees at the end of August, but for some reason I don't like the color. But I'm pretty sure people go for a swim here. Even the townhouses here along the waterfront on the northern shore look pretty cool. In such a townhouse I could live too. That looks actually, it's quite stylish. And here you have the water just across. Old nice Mercedes. And just next to the townhouses is this beautiful old house standing here since 1780. That's a long time actually. 245 years. That's a quarter of a millennia. Probably was the only standing house in this region back then. And now surrounded by houses everywhere. Pretty neat house. Still somebody lived there. I can see somebody sitting inside the living room. I don't know, maybe I was wrong. Maybe that house before, which is just kind of a couple blocks further back where I came from, is not the only house which is that old and from that time. Look at this beauty. Look at this beautiful house here. With some really nice wooden doors and windows, like wooden shingles, 2 chimneys at the end, which means people used to burn wood here, heat the house. And this here, this fence is like the first kind of fences which people had here around, and they just would cut some cedar trees and just put 2 posts inside like this and just put the I don't know how you call them, like planks, just in between, stack them on top of each other. So beautiful, so beautiful. What a beautiful house. This is like something with style. I really don't like all the modern new houses which are just kind of boring and gray, but this here is amazing. There is nothing, there's no like sign to show how old this house is, and no like historical what's it called, like of historical importance in Canada, but I'm pretty sure it is. Historical monument, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And here's just a thought which I'm having now, like these old houses here which I just passed by, and I have been walking for I think 75 kilometers now. So I still have another 15 to go. It's gonna be around 90 kilometers in it would be doable in 2 days, but just because of yesterday and the rain and everything, I'm doing it in 3 days. Like the first day 45, and then the other 2 days the other 45. But kind of nobody's doing this anymore today. Walking through like the whole island of Montreal, I think I'm one of the few people like who has done this, accomplished in the modern time. I don't even know if there's any like people living here in Montreal who have done this here. And then you have like the settlers who came here to Canada long time ago, like at the time when these houses were built. This was even kind of a little bit more modern, but the first ones even like 100-200 years before that, coming here and then trying to cross the island of Montreal and find a place where to have arable land, build a farm, start a new life, build a house, I don't know, discover the surrounding area. And you have to imagine how difficult it would have been back then, because now I'm just using like all these modern roads, the sidewalks. When I get tired, I get into a Tim Hortons, I have a coffee, I have something to eat. When I'm really done with the day, I get on the bus go back to my cousin's house, sleep there, stay overnight, have a shower, get up in the morning, all nice, clean, rested. And then you have to imagine the people who first came here. There wouldn't be no roads, there would be no real paths. Like, you just have to figure out for yourself where you're going. You just kind of follow your instinct, which place would be better, where to go. Where would you even cross the river here, the St. Lawrence River, in this year? Like, how would you get here? Even if you had a horse, how would you get on this side, like onto the island? And then you're walking, and then every tree, every bush behind there could be like the First Nations of Canada, like the Iroquois and the Algonquin further west here in Ontario. Like, you don't know where you're heading out, and if you're gonna like cross like into a village of the First Nations and they would not be happy, maybe they would be, I don't know, if you have had something to give them, but if they felt threatened, then they just kill you. Like, imagine at that time, like the 90 kilometers I'm doing now in 3 days was, and in that time people would do this on a daily basis and not even think anything about it, and just sleep wherever they could in the wild with, like, who knows if they had something to eat or they would have to find something. It's just a crazy different world back then. And for me, it feels like walking the island of Montreal, like achieving something really big and finishing like 90 kilometers through this kind of modern jungle. But I cannot imagine how it would be for these people 400 years ago. It's crazy, insane. I cannot even imagine. Probably like big thumbs up, like, for having whatever big balls like this and doing something crazy like that without even knowing where you're heading into, whatever, a new world, starting a new life. That's just insane. And I'm complaining about not having internet to use on my walk here. I remember watching a video from Bosnia. Some guys, they made a brand new road and a sidewalk, and for some reason the pole for the electricity, they had it kind of on the road, and then everybody was making fun of it because, like, how could they put it like into the road? And now I'm thinking the same about this year. This is Canada, it's Montreal. Look at this, the pole is here on the road actually. There's not even like a red whatever sign or something to make you pay attention, like at night if you're driving and it's like dark. You don't even see this really, it's dark too, and it is on the road, is it not? But that's how it goes, the whole street. Very funny actually. Like, anyways, compared to Europe, you rarely find in big cities, it's mostly all underground, and here in Canada there's still many of the electric wires and everything. It just, the roads are new, but the poles are probably been here for 50 years. I found this sign, which is maybe specific or only here in Montreal. So when they're cleaning the roads from the snow, so they're not supposed to like blast the snow over on this property. This is the first one for me to see, even though I lived in Canada too. And if you have some millions left, there's still not all the waterfront properties, they are not all sold. Here's one from Remax here in Montreal on the northern shore. You can have this whole property for yourself and access to the lake here in the river basically. Now in this part of the island here in the west, this is almost like the city limit of Montreal. There's still some farmland, and from the layout on Google Maps I can see this used to be some fields, but now it's kind of just growing back to nature, so nobody's farming it anymore. I don't know what's the deal behind it, but most likely at some point it's going to be developed. So what's the point for farming, because somebody just sitting and waiting to get more money from selling the property, maybe. But I'm curious if there's gonna be some more fields. Like on Google Maps it looks like there might be some still which are used, but there's not that much space left on the island of Montreal for farming. It's basically just like the city spreading and just like new suburbs being built, and yeah, I don't know, a couple more decades and there's nothing gonna be left. So still some greenery on the island of Montreal. Well, I really don't have any luck with this weather in Montreal these 3 days. I got rain on 2 days ago. Yesterday it was raining all the time, and now it seems it's gonna start raining again. When I look there, it's actually raining a lot out there. So hopefully it's not coming this way, but I would not be surprised if it's gonna start raining really a lot. Now I almost reached the city limit of Montreal, so there's no sidewalk anymore. It's kind of just here and there a house, but I have to walk on the open road. As I'm crossing this bridge here, I'm leaving the city of Montreal after 83.5 kilometers of walking in the city. And I still have 7.5 kilometers to go, so that's just gonna be a little bit more than 90 when I finish at the westernmost point of the island. But this bridge actually fascinates me, because I did not expect a big stream like this on the island of Montreal, because it's pretty much flat, and just Montreal, the only kind of significant hill or mountain. And this river here, called Rivière d'Orme, so I guess Orme River, is much bigger than I just kind of expected. Some creeks, but this here is like a full-on river. Just gonna cross here. This is actually where the river here meets the Lake of Two Mountains, which is basically just another river. The Ottawa River actually comes here into this lake and then kind of passes on this side of the island of Montreal and island of Laval to join where I started 2 days ago, to join the St. Lawrence River. Really crazy how big the rivers here are, especially like something like this, like a huge lake. Anyways, let's go to the last little bit to finish. And just as I left the city of Montreal, there are actually some fields here being farmed. Can't really see that good. It's not like some high yield farming, but there's some land which I don't know what's here. Looks like carrots almost, but I'm not quite sure. So still some land left on the island of Montreal to be farmed. Question is, for how long? I came to this beautiful spot here. It's actually where the battlefield, the battle of the Lake of the Two Mountains was fought. But what I find amazing is this bench here, and just to take a rest, because it's really peaceful here, so quiet. Almost nobody passing by here, still on the island, but away from all the hectic and the chaos. Once in a while a car drive by, but that's about it. I could almost fall asleep. I might even do this and then continue after half an hour. I did actually find a farm on Montreal Island. Look at this. Isn't this amazing? It's a real old Quebecois farm, and it's still being farmed. There's like raspberries, tomatoes, I see kale, corn, red beets. Amazing. They might even have some animals around. So cool. A farm on the island of Montreal, which is still operating. And not on a big scale. It's just like substantial farming, just for themselves. And this here is exactly what I was talking about before. When you have a lot of money, you have a property like this, surrounded by these stones, nice entrance, long driveway, and there's like a peninsula here. There's a long driveway through the forest, goes probably for half a kilometer onto the waterfront, and nobody can see your house. It's all surrounded by forest. It's all private, just for yourself. No one can see you unless you had a drone to fly over, and maybe from the waterfront if you're taking a boat. But this is how Canadians live if they have money. This last kilometers of my walk, it's just like amazing. From all the houses and all the stuff I have seen in Montreal, this is the most impressive. Like, there's properties here. They're as huge or bigger than parks in the city. Like mansions, beautiful houses, nice driveways. Oh, I got some dogs visiting me. Even in Canada, not just in Bali. Everybody has a dog here, I guess, for protecting their houses. It's crazy. Everyone even has on their fences, it says in French, attention, dog guarding. But it's just insane how big these mansions are. How, like, they're just like a private home, nothing else. And it's more beautiful than a park. It's just insane. Like, I cannot believe how beautiful it is here. When I started my walk, I think in the northernmost part of Montreal, and this little town, let's say, by itself, called East Montreal, just like industry and small houses and really not nice neighborhoods. But this here is just like, look at this here, this beautiful willow tree, nice bridge over the pond. Crazy. The lawn, perfect. I just cannot believe how much money some people have to have like this big of a property and waterfront property. Just crazy, just insane. Look at this, the flowers. You must be doing good if this is what you call your home. You don't see this thing in Germany, not that often. There is no space, you don't have this much land, rarely. It's, you would have to be like in a, I don't know, like in a family, like rich to own a castle or something, like passed down for like centuries. But not like this. This is insane. When you're driving in Montreal along the river, you better watch out for some turtles on the road, because they might be crossing into the river. I made it to the westernmost point of the island. It's the end of the island. Canal de Saint-Anne de Bellevue, Parks Canada. So there's another canal here with locks, so you could cross here and not in the fast waters, and I think there's some like rapids, and they built a bridge here, so I'm not quite sure why there's a canal here too, but this is the highway number 20 and the railway bridge to Ontario. And this is the lock here of the Saint and the Bavou Canal. But I'm still gonna go further into the onto the dock all the way to the end, just another, I don't know, 200-300 meters, and relax there. See you there. So I'm at the furthermost tip I could make it here on the island of Montreal. I think though this there is the westernmost tip, but there's the bridge of the highway going over to mainland, and they're constructing a new bridge, so I think you cannot even access this part there. So that's why I'm here, and because I'm gonna catch my bus from here. I just want to show you, I don't know if you can see, 91.4 kilometers I walked to here in 22 hours 30 minutes. So it's almost like a whole day of walking, 24 hours to walk the whole island of Montreal, 91 kilometers. Even though I could have made it shorter, but I just chose to walk through the old city and follow the kind of city with the city limits, and not the southern part here of Dorval and some other places. So yeah, I'm glad I made it. It's an awesome city, I really have to say, and I don't know how safe Montreal actually is. Probably some of you guys made some bad experience, I don't know. Let me know if there's any one of you guys which says Montreal is dangerous. I on my own have not experienced anything bad. I would walk Montreal at any time, even at night time. I don't feel like it's any whatever more dangerous than any German city, or I don't know, any city I have been so far in Europe or even in Indonesia. So I don't know, let me know how dangerous is Montreal actually, and otherwise just awesome time here. I thought I would be here for sunset, but I won't. It's 4. I will not wait here. I will go back to the city. I want to check out one place, and maybe I'll see you there, and if not, thanks for watching guys. It was an awesome time. Bye.